Have you ever thought about modelling? And it could happen, your life could change tomorrow. Just because someone has a professional website doesn't mean that when you meet them in person they're going to be professional. It's so hard, but you need to separate yourself from the perfect picture. You're a human being, you've got emotions, you've got flaws, you've got insecurities. Watch out for these scammers, okay? There's so many. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Manuela. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. This video is going to be a modelling Q&A. I decided to film this video because I get a lot of questions on Instagram asking about my modelling experience and how I got into modelling. So I thought I'd start off with how I started. Growing up, I always was interested in modelling from watching lots of TV shows like America's Next Top Model, Britain's Next Top Model, whatever they're called. There's so many. I used to watch these shows all the time on TV. From the age of 12, I was like, I want to be signed to an agency. That's where my interest in modelling first started. I used to volunteer to be a model for my friends' A-level projects. So a lot of my friends in school were doing photography and they needed a model for their projects. And I was like, I'll be a model, I'll do it. Obviously at the time, it was a thing where it was just for fun. Like it'd be like during lunchtime, after school, we'd just take pictures and I'd help my friends do their projects. So yeah, that's how it started off. So at the age of 17 is when I started doing my research properly. When I was living in Bournemouth, I used to go up to London a few times and do castings there. I always knew that London would be the place to be in terms of these opportunities, like being at your doorstep. I knew that eventually I'd want to move to London, but being 17 at the time, I was still studying, doing my A-levels. So a casting that I had when I was 17 and I was like, oh my god, was an ASOS casting. There's this opportunity called ASOS Scout and they were looking for UK based models. So all I had to do was apply online and eventually the team would get back to me. I'd watched tons of YouTube videos about castings, what to wear, black vest, black jeans, or like something very tight that shows your figure. Obviously with makeup you have to keep it minimal. I never really wore makeup to castings. I just do like Vaseline or like lip balm and mascara because they want to see what you actually look like. So it's important to embrace your natural features and be confident in your own skin. So this is literally what happened. I got into the room, I had to submit my measurements, your height, your bust, which is your cup size, your breast size. They measure your waist, your hips. I could do that at home as well, but they would just double check that. And I remember I had to do a few test shots because it's like one in, one out. Like it's a competitive industry. So you had one shot to give it your all. I got there, took a few photos, you know, I had a bit of direction as well. Tell me why, they tell me to walk in heels. I put the heels on, my toes are not painted. I forgot to paint my toenails. And obviously that was a massive like, no, you know, you have to be prepared. I wasn't prepared. I was not expecting that. I didn't read that online. Top tip that I learned, always be prepared. Paint your toenails. And now guess what? I've learned that lesson. You will not catch me with my toenails unpainted. And then I moved to London at the age of 18 to study at university. And on the side, I was trying to do modelling as well. I joined Facebook forums, like models in London, photographers in London, models and photographers in London. And that way I would scout lots of people around me who want to get into the modelling industry, who are also starting out. It's a great chance for people to collaborate, to network and to get to know each other. Obviously, you need to be careful with stuff like that because Facebook is Facebook. Some people are creepy. Tip number one, always be safe, be hyper aware and don't assume that everyone has good intentions. You need to be careful. I'd say tip number two, when you're arranging a shoot, follow your gut feeling. Something feels off, I don't know what it is, I feel like a negative feeling in my gut. Follow that feeling because I've had that so many times and I followed my feeling. This person's like, oh, come to my studio, let's shoot. First of all, I'm not coming to your studio because your studio is in your house, mate. You good, bye. I'm not gonna put myself at risk for the sake of taking a photo. It's just not worth it. Most of my shoots I've gone to by myself from my own discernment. Oh my god, have your non-negotiables. By that I mean have these rules set for yourself that are non-negotiable. Everyone has personal ones. So one example of one of my non-negotiables would be no nudity. I don't do nude shoots, I'm not interested. When someone comes up to me and approaches me with that, thank you for reaching out, I'm not interested in this. There's your boundary. If they push it any further, block. Tip number four, watch out for these scammers, okay? There's so many. Like, luckily enough, I've never been subjected to an experience where I have been scammed because I've always been hyper aware of these scammers from a young age. As a model, you shouldn't be paying for anything. the least you'll be paying for in terms of like doing TFP shoots is like your travel. If you're working on a bigger shoot, they would cover your travel expenses. You shouldn't be paying for a portfolio. If you're the talent, why are you paying? Also, if you're under the age of 18, always have someone who's over the age of 18, preferably a parent, a guardian, or an older sibling who can go over these terms with you, because it's so easy to get so excited and be like, yes, I'll sign, and before you know it, you've signed your life away to someone who's exploiting you. Another tip I'd say, tip number 5, if you're going on a shoot and you're nervous, you're scared to meet new people, always get to know them before, talk to them. Like, there are people who are so lovely. I had this shoot like 2 days ago. I obviously proceeded with that shoot because we had a group chat on Instagram. The vibes were good. I checked everyone's profile pictures there. They're good at what they're doing. You have to have these little safety checks with yourself. I literally spoke to the stylist, makeup artist, and photographer on my shoot. We all met on this app called The Dots. I'm gonna get into that, don't worry. Not sponsored, by the way, I wish. There's an app called The Dots, and it's a great app for people to network. So many creatives on there. You can find jobs on there, you can find different opportunities on there. I literally downloaded it because someone recommended it to me, and I was like, you know what, let me give it a go. And normally I'm not a person to like reach out and be like, hi guys, like, if you want to collaborate, contact me, because I'd rather be the one that's commenting like, here's my Instagram, give my piece and leave. But I thought, you know what, I want to meet new people. So I put a post out saying, any London-based creatives wanting to collab, I'm a model looking to work with photographers, stylists, MUAs, etc. Leave your IG handles below. So I got a ton of people messaging back on comments saying, I'm based in London, I'm a photographer, would love to work. They leave their Instagram, and it became like a thread, so lots of people were commenting on there, and I was like, this is great. From that, I'll make a list on my notes, write down the people I'm like, oh, that's fire. So I keep a note of that, and I'm like, I'm gonna reach out to you in the future. The main thing is just be yourself, have fun. And honestly, you meet so many people, you can make so many great friendships from that. And my favorite thing, I've realized one of my favorite things is watching two people come together. If I'm on a shoot with a makeup artist and she's like, oh, by the way, I do this, this and this, I'm gonna be like, you know what, I do this, this and this, but also I have a friend who does this, this and this, I think you guys should work. I give them the Instagram, they exchange, they get to know each other, and then when they meet, it's like beauty. You know how two people work and you're like, this is gonna be great. That's gorgeous. I love that. I love collaboration. It's great. In terms of types of shoots, there's loads of different types of shoots, but I'm going to put them into 2 different categories. So we've got TFP shoots and paid shoots. So TFP stands for time for prints, and what that basically means is you collaborate with a photographer, for example. So I'm a model, I'm going to collaborate with a photographer, and in exchange for my time I get prints, so I get the photos. So that is a mutual collaboration where you both agreed to work. And in that way, you're both building a portfolio, no one's making money. My experience personally with TFP shoots, they have been fun, they have been challenging as well. Typically, a lot of people go into modelling thinking, I want to get the paid jobs ASAP. How are you meant to get the paid jobs if you have no experience yet? I'm not saying that you can't, because there's people who, you're walking down the street, a model agent, scouter, and bucket will come up to you and be like, have you ever thought about modelling? And it could happen, your life could change tomorrow, you know. But for most of us, you have to start from the bottom and build your way up. That means building the experience, collaborating with different people, experimenting with different shoots. So I enjoy TFP because I feel like there's a lot more creative freedom. You're free with the concept, you can use your imagination, you can be free with whatever you do, you can just enjoy, have fun. If your priority at the moment is making money, get a paid shoot. If you've got more room and you're comfortable doing TFP shoots and just collaborating for the sake of building your network or your portfolio, TFP is your best friend. I've been in a situation where I've been a bit of both. As a student, I was like, I need these paid shoots ASAP. In terms of paid shoots, you're normally working for a brand and you've got a brief to stick to. I've had a few shoots here and there that have been paid, they've been great. In terms of like creative freedom with that, you're kind of getting directed. I feel like with TFP shoots, you can be the director. However, don't let that stop you, because I've done plenty of paid shoots where the photographer hasn't really got a clue what they're doing. Anyone getting ideas like what to do next, I'll be like, yep, you need to go there, you need to go there, and then we'll make it work. Because sometimes you've got a vision in your head. Don't let your role stop you from like speaking up. So I'm the model, but if I'm seeing that looks good there, we're doing that. If you're open to it, you know. I'm skipping points here, but preparation, you need to be prepared. For both TFP and paid shoots, you need to be prepared. Don't rely on like companies and brands sorting you out with this and that. Obviously, paid shoots, you're gonna get that lunch. That lunch is good, I'm gonna tell you that. Like, the main thing that is so difficult is knowing your own value and self-worth. I need to think about how long I've been modelling for, how long it takes me to go to a shoot, if I'm doing my makeup myself, my hair, all of that. I need to think about that. When it comes to my rate, how I define freelancing is, it's difficult. No, A freelancer, I'd say, is someone who is essentially self-employed. You're your own leader. There's no one there telling you where to go, what to do. You create your own guidebook. That's what I'd say a freelancer is. You create your own guidebook. You're writing out the rules, and that means there's room for trial and error. There's so many learning curves I've gone through, but it's helped me be where I am now, and also know when to say no, because that reminds me of this time, or yes, because I know this is good because of this. So it's helped me a lot with discernment. But in terms of your rates, no one can tell you what your rate is. And in terms of money, not a lot of people speak on money openly. It's always this like taboo topic that you can't talk about money, but be open about it, talk about it. Some people get more money than you on certain shoots because they've got higher following, but not necessarily the same experience. People will lowball you. When it comes to rates, always push higher than what your actual rate is, because when they lowball you, it's closer to your standard rate. Hard. People think you just stand there and you're in front of the camera. This is the start of my journey. I'm not even an agency signed model. I can't even imagine how hard it is for them. It's a competitive industry, but there's room for everyone to eat. The best thing to do, have a team around you, ask questions, be open, talk about money. It's a taboo subject, no one likes to talk about it, but it's how the world goes round, you know what I mean? I think with the shoots as well, you need this sense of self-confidence. You need to know you're beautiful, regardless of the makeup, regardless of the no makeup. As a model, when you're doing a shoot, you are a product. People will say comments. You will feel a bit like, oh, that's weird. Be prepared for your flaws to be pointed out. You will get compared to other models and you feel like crap, but at the end of the day, you need to know your self-worth and value. I feel like as a model, there's a lot of vulnerability involved. When I say that, I don't mean it as a weakness, but you need to be brave and put yourself out there. And with that comes negativity and people's opinions. So at the end of the day, everyone's got flaws, you know? My teeth are crooked, like they're not perfectly straight. I went on a shoot one day, I'm doing close-up shots. She was like, oh, I don't like how your teeth looks here. And I was thinking, excuse me? That's rude, you know, like I'm a human being, I've got feelings. You can't just point out on my insecurities. You think I like the way my teeth look? No, but I'm dealing with it because I can't afford braces. Just because someone has a professional website doesn't mean that when you meet them in person they're going to be professional. Keep that in mind. It's so hard, but you need to separate yourself from the perfect picture. You're a human being. You've got emotions, you've got flaws, you've got insecurities. You're beautiful as you are. So it doesn't matter if your skin isn't perfect, your skin isn't clear. I've had cases where skin will break out before a shoot. My period is literally due before the shoot. I'm thinking, why today? Because now I'm bloated. Now my skin's not looking how I wanted it to look. I don't feel great. And all of that affects my self-confidence. Makes me feel down. You have to remind yourself, keep going, you're beautiful, you're strong. If they didn't want you, they'll pick someone else at the end of the day. Take yourself seriously because you don't want to get stepped all over. But at the same time, loosen up and have fun. It's like, it's never that serious, you know? Someone makes a comment here, stand up for yourself, but get the job done at the same time. Because at the end of the day, you've got two options. It's like, you either walk out mid-shoot, obviously you're more than entitled to, but sometimes there's a contract involved, you know? Learn from the experience, and then just be like, I'm never working with this person again. Let's talk about makeup artists. When it comes to makeup, be prepared, you know? You need to be prepared. Every shoot I go to, apart from one, which is the one I did recently, because I'm learning to let go slowly. Bring your makeup bag, because you don't know what shades people are working with. As a black woman, especially as a black model, you can't just assume this person's got my shade. Most of the shoots I've done, actually, I've done my own makeup, which I'm mostly comfortable with. I know what looks good, what doesn't look good on my face. A lot of people are new to the modelling industry. Just because they're makeup artists, don't assume they know how to work on your skin or on your face. They don't know how to embrace your features, maybe. You need to have your own back, that's what I'm trying to say, because these shades will be looking crazy. Your face will be looking different in the photo. You're thinking, am I ugly? It's not you, babe. It's not you. Because you want to trust in people's skills, but also don't make yourself look like a clown with blush that doesn't complement your face. No, if it doesn't complement the skin, don't do it, darling. Keep your legs, everything moisturized at all times, okay? Especially in this winter. In this winter, you ain't catch me outside with no Nivea on. I need that Nivea for dry to very dry skin, okay? Moisturizer always. I'm gonna get into body confidence, body image. Quick trigger warning: if you're triggered by anything to do with weight, please skip this part of the video. Obviously, when it comes to appearance, it is difficult. My body has fluctuated a lot. I've always been very slim, grew up with a fast metabolism. I actually hated it. I hated being slim because I get picked on a lot, you know, skinny this, skinny that. And actually, it's so sad to even admit this out loud, but I'm in a position where I feel comfortable to do so. One of my New Year's resolutions when I was younger was to put on weight because I didn't like myself, I didn't like the way I looked. My body hadn't even formed yet, and I was just already having such negative things to say about myself because of what other people have said to me. I struggled to put on weight a lot, and it's only now after lockdown as an adult is when I realized my body started changing, and I was thinking, what is going on here? How am I putting on weight, please? I had to like rewire my brain to think in a new way, because I realized growing up I never really had formed my own healthy opinion on my appearance. So when I started putting on weight, it was just a complete change. My metabolism changed a lot, and obviously different factors as well, but it came to a point where I just had to accept myself. I was thinking, I am now at a stage that I wanted to be in when I was younger. Why am I still miserable? You need to know your value comes from within. It's inside. It's how you feel inside. Are you a good person? Do you have a good heart? So I've done a lot of work to retrain my brain and form my own opinions on how I look and how I feel. Like, there's been a hyper focus on appearance, and it's negative. You know, that's why I hate social media sometimes. I'm a YouTuber. I love Instagram as well. It's fun. But when you see the dark side of it, it's just not fun. Like, even with YouTube as well, by posting a video, you're then opening up a pool of comments, and with the comments, they can be negative comments, they can be positive comments. I know it's hard because you want to sit there and read the comments, and it, like, some people are so sweet and support me, and it means the world to me. But at the same time, I know that if I'm scrolling through comments first thing in the morning, I could potentially see a comment that's nasty, and I don't know how I'm feeling that day. Aside from that, I love modelling. It's so much fun. It has allowed me to meet new people and also tap into different aspects of myself that I didn't know were there. And I find that being around certain people, being in a different outfit, having my makeup done in a way which I would never do personally, it puts me outside of my comfort zone and allows me to grow. If I could say one thing to my younger self, knowing what I know now, don't compare yourself to others. I think that's the main thing. You're beautiful the way you are. You're beautiful in your skin. You're beautiful when your skin breaks out. You're beautiful when you're on your period. You're beautiful when you're tired. Don't think you're not beautiful because you're getting rejected. Be thick-skinned. Be okay with taking criticism, and learn that these are people's opinions. You need to take no as next opportunity. Be safe, have fun, and just watch yourself transform and evolve as a person. Another tip that I would say is, if you're interested in getting into the modelling industry, just remember, it's a small world. Everyone knows someone. So always leave a good first impression. The people you meet along the way are gonna come back around, you know? The people you meet today, they're gonna come back in 5 years' time. You'll be like, where do I know you from? Oh, we did that shoot together. Make sure you left a good first impression, because no one wants to work with someone who is rude and doesn't have good manners. I think integrity is key. You are being watched the minute you get there. So if you're in the reception and you're just slouching, you're sat down on your phone, sometimes people think that the audition, the casting takes place when you're in the room. I think it starts the minute you get there. The vibe you bring the minute you get through the door, how you treat the receptionist. I think a lot of people focus on appearance and they think it's all about how you look. Yes, that is the majority of it. It's about how you look, but it's also about how you carry yourself as a person and your morals, your values, the person you are, the personality, because that's what's going to shine through the photos. Obviously, times have changed now. The modelling industry has changed so much. Like, from my own experience, like my own timeline, there has been this hyper focus on being petite. When I say petite, I mean size-wise. And I'd say the major changes that I've seen is that the industry is more diverse, more inclusive. You know, they have different categories within their board. They do women, they do men, they do influencers, petite, and they do plus size. There's lots of different categories. It's more diverse now. Like, I can go to the shop and see a black woman on the cover of a magazine and be like, oh my god, that's sick, you know? Growing up, there wasn't any of that. Growing up and just seeing white skinny blonde models on magazines, I'm not gonna think, oh, I can do it. From looking at that, to me that shows there's no space for me there. It made it hard for a girl like me to keep going, because I'm thinking, I can't see anyone who looks like me on the cover of these magazines. You can break that. You can be the change you want to see in the world. It is brave. It's that first step with no one there behind you to lead you, to guide you. Is scary, but you can make that change. Representation is so important because it allows people to feel like they belong. So when I started doing my research and found out about models such as Naomi Campbell, Jordan Dunn, Leomi Anderson, that motivated me even more. They can do it, I can do it, you know? I want to play a part in that representation and inspiring other girls, other boys who look like me, who don't look like me, to give it a go, you know? Because anything you set your mind to is possible. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so happy that I filmed this video. I was so scared. I hope you guys find this video insightful. I feel like I have been meaning to film this video forever. It's just been on my mind a lot. So yeah, if you've got any questions, feel free to DM me, comment below. I'll catch you guys in my next video, and I'm sending you so much love.